It was a quiet Thursday evening, the kind where the sky turned soft shades of orange and purple, and the world seemed to slow down just enough to let you breathe. I was sitting on the balcony of my apartment, holding a cup of tea that had long gone cold, staring at nothing in particular. My phone buzzed. It was her. Sara, my best friend for almost 7 years. Her message was simple. "Can I come over?" There was something about those 4 words that felt heavier than usual. Sara wasn't the type to ask. She usually just showed up, walked in like she owned the place, and made herself comfortable. "Of course," I replied. She arrived 20 minutes later. When I opened the door, I barely recognized her. Her hair was messy, her eyes tired, and her smile, the smile that had always been her strongest weapon, was missing. She stepped inside without saying a word. I closed the door gently. "Are you okay?" I asked. She laughed softly, but it wasn't real. "No," she said honestly. We sat on the couch, side by side, the silence between us thick but familiar. Sara had always been strong. She was the one who helped me when my father passed away. She was the one who stayed with me all night when I thought I couldn't survive the pain of losing someone I loved. Seeing her like this felt wrong. "What happened?" I asked. She stared at the floor. "He left," she whispered. Her boyfriend of 3 years. The one she thought she would marry. The one she trusted with her future. I didn't know what to say. Sometimes words only make things worse. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. I stayed. We talked for hours. About everything. About nothing. About memories that made us laugh and moments that made us stronger. At some point, the clock struck midnight. She looked at me and said quietly, "Can I stay here tonight?" I smiled. "You don't even have to ask." She nodded. "Just one night," she said. I didn't know then how much those words would mean. That night, we didn't sleep much. We sat on the floor, leaning against the couch, sharing stories we had already told 100 times. She rested her head on my shoulder at some point. It felt natural, comfortable, safe, but also different. I couldn't explain it. Maybe it was the way she trusted me with her silence. Maybe it was the way she didn't pretend to be strong. Or maybe it was the way my heart reacted when she was close. I had always loved Sara, but I had never allowed myself to admit it, because she was my best friend, and I was afraid of losing her. Around 3 a.m., she finally fell asleep. Her head was still on my shoulder. I didn't move. I didn't want to wake her. I just sat there, listening to her breathing, wondering when she had become so important to me. The next morning, sunlight filled the room. She woke up slowly. For a moment, she looked confused. Then she saw me, and she smiled. A real smile. The kind I hadn't seen in days. "Thank you," she said softly. "For what?" "For staying." I shrugged. "You would have done the same." She looked at me for a long time. "Yes," she said. "I would have." But there was something in her eyes I couldn't understand. Something new. Something that scared me. And excited me at the same time. Days passed. She didn't leave. At first, it was small things. She left her jacket on the chair. Then her charger. Then her favorite mug appeared in my kitchen. It was as if her presence slowly became part of my life. And I didn't mind. We cooked together. Watched movies together. Laughed together. It felt easy. Natural. Like it had always been this way. But sometimes, I caught her looking at me differently. And sometimes, I caught myself doing the same. One evening, it started raining. We were standing on the balcony, watching the drops fall. She wrapped her arms around herself. "It's cold," she said. I gave her my jacket. She smiled. "You always take care of me." I laughed. "That's my job." She looked at me. "And who takes care of you?" I didn't know how to answer. No one had ever asked me that before. "I'm fine," I said. She shook her head. "You don't always have to be strong." Her words stayed with me, because she understood me in ways no one else did. That night, we sat closer than usual. Our shoulders touched. Neither of us moved away. The silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was full of meaning, full of questions neither of us dared to ask. She turned to me. "Do you ever think?" she began, then stopped. "Think what?" She hesitated. "Think that maybe some people are meant to find each other?" My heart started beating faster. "Maybe," I said. She looked down. "I'm glad I found you." I didn't trust myself to speak. Because the truth was, I had always been glad I found her. Weeks passed. Her laughter returned. Her light returned. And somewhere along the way, she stopped saying just one night. She stayed. Not because she had nowhere else to go, but because she wanted to be there. With me. One evening, she stood at the door. "I went back to my apartment today," she said. My heart sank. "Oh." She smiled softly. "I packed my things." I nodded, trying to hide the pain. "That's good." She stepped closer. "I brought them here." I looked at her, confused. "Why?" She took a deep breath. "Because this feels like home." Those words changed everything. I realized then that love doesn't always arrive loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in shared silences, in late-night conversations, in small moments that slowly become everything. She didn't come into my life like a storm. She came like sunlight after a long winter. Soft, warm, certain. One night, months later, we sat on the same couch where everything began. She leaned her head on my shoulder again, just like that first night. But this time, everything was different. "I never planned this," she said. "Neither did I." She smiled. "But I'm glad it happened." "So am I." She looked at me, her eyes full of trust, full of something deeper than friendship. "You stayed when I needed someone the most," she said. I shook my head. "You stayed too." She smiled, and in that moment, I realized something important. She never said, "just one night again." Because it was never just one night. It was the beginning of forever. Love doesn't always start with grand gestures. Sometimes it starts with a simple question. "Can I stay here tonight?" And sometimes, the answer changes your life. I thought I was helping my best friend. I didn't realize she was saving me too. Because in the end, we didn't just find comfort in each other. We found home. In each other. And that was something I never expected. But something I would never trade for anything in the world.